guys, Lemmy here. Welcome back to another art video. Today we are doing a collaboration with Eva from the Art Side of Life. Now, if you don't know Eva, you definitely should know Eva. She's just one of the nicest people I've ever met through YouTube. She's extremely friendly, and what she does on her channel is she interviews professional artists. And what's really cool is that it's not just YouTube artists. It's artists from all different websites, all different countries, all different places. They do different things, have different art styles, and she asks them how they found success in their own art careers. So her channel is really amazing. She interviews wonderful people. She is wonderful herself. I totally recommend you check her out. Also, I did an interview with her, so if you want to watch me be really awkward for about an hour, you can head over to her channel and watch that. So when Eva asked me to do this collab, I was really excited because not only is she wonderful herself, I think she's great, but her content is really, really well done. It's very polished. She has a whole bunch of different kinds of artists that she interviews, and I think that not just younger artists, but even like older artists, you know, it's the sort of content that people would be curious about, and I think it's helpful information for everyone to know, you know, how this person or this artist came to where they are today. And I think that we can learn a lot by listening to other people's stories, and not just that, I just think it's very interesting. It's sort of funny because when she asked me to do a collaboration, we just had no idea what to really do for the collaboration. And we had all these different kinds of ideas, and then we started to not really be able to pick from them, and it got really complicated. So there was a suggestion of a challenge, and then there was like swapping of different line arts and stuff, and then it was like, oh, maybe we could do this sort of themed thing, or maybe we could do half of this and half of that, and it became really complicated because the genius that I am, I was like, hey, let's combine stuff. So then it became like a limited tiny color palette. Okay, hear me out. A limited color palette, like a few colors. And then it became a combination picture where we take two pictures and put them together. But then also it became a theme. And the theme that we settled on was Day of the Dead. And I would say it in Spanish, but I don't want to offend anyone. Oh my god, I'm gonna kill this. Oh.
Dia de los Muertos.
This specific holiday starts around November, and it's like a specific day where it's thought that the boundary between the world of the living and the dead is believed to be the thinnest. And I just read that off of a website because I can't say these things and make them sound as good as I'm reading it right here. And basically the holiday is a joyful sort of celebration of the dead and honoring the dead and people who have passed. So it's a joyous celebration, and it's really quite lovely, and it has come from Mexico. Truth be told, that's about all that I know about the celebration. That and that Disney really loves the Day of the Dead. And you go to Disney World in Florida, there is just tons of like SugarSkull stuff. So we decided that we were going to do two different girls with SugarSkull inspired makeup, and then we would put them together into one picture. And Eva said she was going to work with a limited color palette of pink, white, and turquoise. So she picked 3 colors. And I was like, oh man, that's like just 3 colors. And I wasn't sure if we were going to do it like specifically. Now this is where the confusion comes from, okay? I wasn't sure if we were just supposed to stick to those 3 colors, or if we were supposed to kind of base it on those 3 colors, but throw whatever else we wanted in there. So I'm like, uh-oh, I don't know. And I didn't want to ask because I was getting annoying because we kept going back and forth, trying to figure out what we were going to do. So I'm like, okay, we're just going to do this. The limited color palette, SugarSkull girls that we're going to stick together in one picture. Sounds easy, right? Wrong. Okay, because then it became this issue of we're putting these faces together, they have to line up, all right? But then it became, no, we'll just chop the faces in half and put two different girls in one picture instead of half one girl, half the other girl. And then it became like, well, that's good and all, but, you know, I think I was supposed to have the left side of the face, and then I wasn't sure if it was the left side of the page, the left side of the face, or like which side, like how the people were going to be combined. So then I didn't know what side of the face I was doing, but for my picture I made her half SugarSkull and like half like really like heavy costume makeup. So I was like, oh my god, I hope I did the right side of the head. So it got really complicated, for me anyway, but I didn't let Eva know I was freaking out. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I hope I'm doing the right side of the head. I hope I'm not doing like her right side, but then I'm supposed to be my right side, and I don't know. I was really concerned, but I figured if I got my piece done first, and I gave it to Eva, then she would figure out what side of the head she had to do. Sorry, Eva. But also, it wasn't just that. I had to pick my color schemes because we weren't going to do the same thing. And I thought, like, I'll go with a darker kind of color palette because pink, turquoise, white sounds very light and happy. Those were actually my favorite colors growing up as a kid. So I was like, I'm gonna do a darker version. So I'm gonna do like a deeper kind of seafoam green, but like kind of like just darker, like a darker green. I don't even know what that would be called. If you guys who know art colors, even though I'm an artist, you guys who know art colors, let me know. So it's like a desaturated sort of seafoam green. And then I was gonna go with this maroon for the flowers and part of her makeup. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna have to have black because the makeup, you need black, and then white for the face paint. So I kind of did the seafoam green, maroon, black, white, and then I added a tinge of lavender because it looks so bad, guys. Like, this picture did not come out the way I wanted it to because I wanted to add so much more to it, but I never did. I was really concerned. I thought, limited color palette, I'm not supposed to be adding additional colors to it because I didn't want to like break the rules or not be fair, because what if Eva did like strictly pink, turquoise, white, and like bam, that's it, and then here I am with like all these colors involved. And so I was like, I'm gonna really try to kind of just make it that, and that's it. All in all, I really like the idea that I had to do like half the face painted, the other half painted a different way, and the flower crown. I really like the idea, but I still think that when I painted this, like you'll see at the beginning, it's a really cute sketch. I don't know, after painting it, I just felt like I ruined it, and I don't know why exactly that is. I guess things for me, I have a lot of problems with kind of like my art getting lost in translation. As in, I have a really cool sketch, I like my sketch. Sketch might not be perfect, but I really like the sketch. And then I'm coloring it, and then it just loses what I liked about it somewhere in there. And it's, you know, it's kind of like disheartening, but I love the idea. I just don't know if I executed it properly. Like, nothing would have made me happier for this to come out really amazing. And I'd be like, yeah, I did this, look at me. But man, you know, when you try to make an artwork that's based off of another culture's holiday and you really want to do a nice job, and then you're just kind of like, I'm sad, this didn't work out the way I wanted it to. I don't know, there's no other feeling than like, oh, I'm so disappointed. I mean, it's not the worst ever, but it's also like, it could be so much better. Not just that, but I really wanted her skin tone to be kind of like a sandier color and deeper. But I couldn't do that because the skin tones I had here were based off of the maroon color, because I didn't want to add too many other colors, even though if I added some oranges and stuff and like some browns and, you know, spice it up. But no, I couldn't, because I was afraid like of our rules that we had in place. So if I could do this again, I would do it differently and hopefully it would look better. But you know, with the limited color palette, this is kind of all I could really jazz up. I don't know. But Eva's SugarSkull looks amazing. And then I saw it and I was like, oh, mine looks so bad next to that. I'm gonna go hide in the back room now. But yeah, I would love to revisit this idea, but just use whatever colors I wanted. And I think it would be really fun to kind of redo this. Not this specific picture, but maybe just do a whole different one and from the start and use whatever colors I want and not limit myself to maroon, desaturated deep seafoam green, white and black. And then a tiny bit of lavender, but don't tell Eva. And actually, a lot of good things happened with this collaboration. I got to do a collaboration with Eva. I got to do a SugarSkull painting. And this picture I made in my, I think it was 12-hour charity stream for Parkinson's disease. So we raised a bunch of money and I painted this during that stream. So a lot of good things happened from this collab. We started it back in like December, but Eva has a crazy upload schedule and finally she has a moment to upload, so we're doing it now in April, which is totally fine. I don't want anyone to feel bad or anything. But when you're thinking like, but the holidays in November, it's like, well, this has been kind of like an ongoing project. But yeah, you guys should totally check her out. She's lovely. Her art is lovely. She's just a great person, and she has really interesting content. So I'm going to link her in the video description down below if you want to check her out. If you want to go and say hi, or if you want to check out my interview and be like, she looks awkward, you can do that too. And actually, she's done a lot of interviews with some really well-known artists in the community, so you can go look through and see who you recognize and which interviews you want to watch. Or you could subscribe and be friends forever and hit that bell and all that stuff. All right, I gotta get going. Eva, thank you so much for doing this collaboration with me. You're lovely. I can't say enough nice things about you. You really are a great person, and I appreciate you. So guys, I'll see you in another week for another video. Let me know what you think of the video, if I did a good job with my limited color palette. What colors would you have chosen? If you could pick like 1, 2, or 3 colors plus white and black, what colors would you have picked? I really kind of wanted to do like this whole autumn, sort of like reds and oranges and yellow, but like I didn't, because I was like, too many colors, I'm gonna get in trouble. But what would you have picked for a limited color palette for the SugarSkull makeup? Let me know, I'd be very interested in hearing. And I'm gonna talk to you guys next week, and I'm going for real. I love you, bye.
Día de los Muertos. Día de los Muertos? Día de los Muertos. Sorry, I couldn't help it.